the same meeting. Don't
call for attending this webinar on how to use the window plane ComputerCut to cut your architectural jobs. I hope that you'll find it informative. I think that you will. To start off with just a short self. Let's hope this works again. Nope, it's not. Hold on. There we go. In this business way back in 1978, I was going to school and I went to a window place and I asked them if they needed any sales help, and they told me that they didn't. And I asked them if it was hard to tint your car, and they said, of course, no. So I bought some film from my car in 3 days and probably 20 back to this place, and a lot of aggravation later, I was able to tint my own car. And when that, my friends asked if I could do their car, so I was able to practice doing their cars. And then I got good enough that I was actually able to charge it. So I ran a small little one-day warehouse, and I would do cars on after school and on the weekends, and I was making more money in one day than my wife was making all week. Wow, this might be a good job to get into. Figured I'd get into it for a couple of days out, and here I am over 30 years later still in it, but it's been good to me. Buying the company that I had bought from and my own shop. And around 1990, I was asked by Solar Guard to do some training for them overseas. Since 1990, I've trained thousands of students all over the world, so I've gotten to learn all amazing. Every time I think I've seen it all, I see something new. But I trained students in the application of auto window film, flat glass, and recently within the last 10 years with the paint protection and clear shield. 1995 was when I first started developing ComputerCut, and because I had a couple of guys that worked for me, and I had been trying to get them to use ComputerCut to do French paintings. And they totally against it, resisted it, and said they could cut it just as fast, and it was a pain and every other excuse. So I got tired of arguing with them, and I kind of put it on the back burner. But then I went out and I to a house in Palm Beach that had 600 wood French panes facing the ocean. And didn't want to destroy their view, so we would install a 50% film on there. And so I came back and I said, guys, this is the time to try ComputerCut. Wood French panes are pretty square. We're using a 50% film that's pretty light, so if you got any gaps in there, they won't be noticeable. It should be a peel and stick type of application. Well, they said that they would do it, so we went and we pre-cut the window. I had booked out 3 days to do the job. They left at 8 o'clock in the morning. They came back at 4 in the afternoon. And so I asked them, I said, how much more do you have to do? And they said, we don't have anything more to do. We did it. You did 600 wood French panes in 8 hours? And they said, yeah. So I because I had booked this for 3 days, so I called the customer back up and I explained to her that, this was the first time that we had used computer, and I ended up giving her a discount. So that's our first experience in being able to use ComputerCut and see how it would work in doing architectural applications. Then in 1998, I sold my business to devote full-time to ComputerCut, and in 2000, I sold ComputerCut to which is now Saint-Gobain. What is a window planner? Well, window planner is a function within the ComputerCut program that allows you to pretty much go out, measure the windows of a job, come back, optimize them, and recut them for your architectural jobs. Well, first of all, I just explained it saves you time in cutting. Well, it's time in cutting the windows. A whole house can probably be cut in minutes. Then during installation, it's also going to save time. As anybody that knows, if you can get a straight edge, normally the jobs will come out cleaner because you can butt it up and you're not going to get dirt up underneath there. So, for instance, on this job in Palm Beach, it was pretty much peel and stick. They could just stick it right in glass. So obviously they're going to save a lot of time. But even if metal French panes are not square, so you would normally have to cut your patterns maybe a 1/4 inch bigger, but you could butt 2 of the film up against the glass, and then you only have the other 2 edges to cut. So again, your installations are going to come out a lot cleaner and a lot faster. It gives a lot of material. All of the windows are optimized by a computer, and you can assign a gap in between each one of the windows, which normally would be a 1/4 inch. So when you're hand cutting, it would be impossible for you to cut each window and have only a 1/4 inch gap in between each one of the windows. With the window instantly determine which roll is going to be the most efficient roll for you to use. You can and cut the windows according to the rooms, so that there is no confusion as to what window to what room. You that ComputerCut, and I've had it for quite a while. When we used to sell the DGI plotter, we created an add-on for that plotter that we call Rewinder. And what it was, it would rewind it back onto a roll, so you could cut a whole house, and it would rewind it back on the roll, and then you go to the house and you would install it. Well, the problem with that was that you go to the job and you have in a different room that you thought you were going to start with, and you don't know where this room is on that roll. And then also you would have to weed the material at the customer's house, and that could be difficult. So with the new window planner, I'm going to show you how you can assign rooms to the windows, and you can cut them separately and then weed them before you go to the job. So when you get to the job, you have a number of rolls with the windows labeled, and all you have to do is peel and stick. As on the job, it's simply peel and stick. Also with the window planner, you can use it to create work orders for callers to give them instructions on the application. You can bring letters or instructions about customers and so forth. You can estimates for your customers, and you can also create a finished invoice for your customer. Anytime you use a computer, it kind of is your customer, and it's, in this case, it's also going to set you apart from your company. How does it work? Let's say you going to a house. Window Planner, ComputerCut is the internet to access all the database of images and so forth. You need the access to the internet to use the Window Planner. In this age, most houses are equipped with wireless connection, so you can, if you take a laptop with you, you can just connect to. If they have a wireless system, what do you do? Okay. Let me open up the program here. If you go on the My Home button in ComputerCut, that will take the Members section of the website, which would be here. In that section, I've got a link to the file. Hopefully, there we go. I did a video on how to import from a file. And here I've created a template that you can download from the site, and this is what it's going to look like for you. Very simple template. Here you can plug in all the information that you want. Name the room, the width, the height, the quantity, and you can assign a group number. I'll get into this in a little bit. And save this, and then you can import it into the Window Planner. So we'll open this up here, and then we'll go in here and go to Cut Window. And this is the Window Planner here. Now, when you save it, from this, it's an Excel file. In order for ComputerCut to recognize it, you have to save it as a CSV file. Go in here and click Save, and you would save a CSV file. I've done that, so we'll go back here to import. Go to my file in here. Open it, and here are the values that I had put in down there. The width and the height, and then the quantity. Now the group is what it does. It assigns those windows to a certain group. So, for instance, these windows right here, I've assigned group 1. So if I click Apply here, the windows that are going to come up will be your master bedroom windows here. You can see them right here. They're labeled right here. These labels will not print out and go to cut it. So what you assign groups to the particular windows that you're going to do, so that they group them together so that they're cut together. And that gives you the square footage based upon the film width that you're going to use. So I'm going to plug in a 60 here, and we'll click apply, see what kind of square footage we get with that. Okay, this is a 60-inch roll. I would earn 49 square feet. Well, let's see what I'll use if I use a 36-inch roll. Click apply. 10 square foot more, showing 159 square feet. So what happens if I use a 48-inch roll? It's even a little bit more. We got up to 154 square feet. So, and this is not going to work. I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in just to show you what that you might encounter. This is a 72-inch roll. Now we sell 72-inch plotters, so we can cut 72-inch rolls, type of plotter. So I'll click apply, and it gives me an error. The film width you specified exceeds your plotter width. So what it means is, let's close out of this. Come on. There we go. Close out of here. So what it means is that when you open up ComputerCut, go in here and you go to setup, and you go to player, and you're going to plug in your width. In this case, I put in 65. So if you got a 72-inch plotter, you would have to put a in there, and if you did that, then it could calculate it for a 72-inch roll. But because the plotter width was not set at 72, it goes beyond what it's set for. So it gives that error message. Is there any questions? No? No. Okay. Go back to, looked like the 60-inch was the most of the material. Out here, and oops. Okay. So inside this box, it's going. Well, let me just cancel that out. So if I this box, it's going to deselect all those. And go and I zoom in here, you'll see a 4-inch gap in between each one of these windows here. So here. So now what you do is you can select and cut these windows according to the particular rooms that you're going to use. Let's write all the windows in the master bedroom here. So, and I'll drag a box around it, I think. Hold on. I'm going to select these windows here. Now, it's kind of like when you cut the windows for a car. You don't want to cut the whole car at one time because it's just too much for you to handle. So you want to select a certain group of windows and go ahead and cut that group, and then go to the next group and cut those. You don't want to just, let's say you got 50 windows and go and cut 50 windows at one time, because not only are you going to have a lot of film to deal with, but you also it might cut cleanly, down the line. So you want to make sure that it's going to cut clean. So in this case, we got about 10. If I look down here, you can see the width. We got about 10 foot of window here. So we can here. Now, if I hit this button right here, it's going to cut everything in here, cut all of those windows, which I don't want to do. Okay, but if I use another cut button, this here, which is the cut selected, it's going to cut these windows right here. Whoops. My a little problem here. Hold on. When hit cut select, it's going to ask me, do I want the selected patterns to be plotted at 0, 0? Well, what that means is, do I want it, this is the front of the plotter right here, and it's going to cut going this way. So ask me, do I want it to start right here? Well, obviously, yes, I do. But why we have this is mainly for graphics and that type of thing. People have a graphic and they might not want it to actually cut down here. They might want it to start somewhere in here. So that's why you're going to get that up. But you would normally just hit yes. So I click yes, and so now once I've cut those, I'll put the vertical piece of glass and weave, meaning I'll separate out this excess in between here. So the end is I will have these windows by themselves. So I can just roll it up, label it master bedroom, put it in a box, and when I go to the judge, just go into the master bedroom and roll it, and it's peel and stick. So once those, I can go and select the next group. I could go in here. Let's say I'll do maybe here. Cut the living room together. Well, the living room here. But you get the idea. You can just click and select whatever group of windows you want cut, and click cut. Cuts them out. You weed them, roll them up, and put them in the box. Take them to the job. Far? Okay. Okay. Now, this can also be used as a work order for your installers. So let's just click apply here. You can put in job name here. Let's just put in Miller. Type of film that we're going to use. Let's say we're just going to use a silver. Then you can put down in the notes section, call customer before coming, or bring instructions for your installer, and you can hit the print button and it'll print for you. Okay, you can save it, and you can click on here. It'll take you to the website, and you can create an invoice or a work order. It took me here, and this is I've already did this. So select it, and then you can use an estimate or invoice or whatever you want to do. You click on create an invoice from the work order, and down you can select what you want them to see in the order. Normally, I don't like to put sizes in there. I don't know why. A lot of people do put the windows, but whenever you put us in there, and first the customer's picking up the phone, calling your competition, and asking them to give them an estimate. So normally I shop in putting the size of the windows in there. So I'll click here, and it creates an estimate that I can give to the customer. You can edit this and put in here whatever you want, the amounts or whatever. You can do it and then print it out if you like. The solar logo in here, you can do the same thing. In which you would do that would be go back to the member home and go down information here there's a link where you can upload your logo, and that's in your invoices for your customers. No? Okay. And then you actually cut these from up here if you wanted to. And if you put your mouse over these, it'll actually, you can save and open jobs that you've had in the past, import. You can export this out as a CSV, and so forth. It's pretty and straightforward. But once I guarantee that if it's like when I first came out with ComputerCut, it took the automotive installers a little bit of to get used to it and change the way in which they did things, and it's the same thing with the using the window planner and pre-cutting your jobs with architectural. You kind of have to change the way in which you do things, but I can tell you that if you use it and you somehow work for you, you'll love it. I'm not going to use it for doors or large windows or anything like that, but for jobs where windows are, say, 4 foot or less, or even say 4 foot or less, it can save a lot of time and a lot of material. I guess maybe doing a good job. I don't know. There. Okay, everything on the window planner. I'm going to digress just a little bit here because I think that this is really important. It was very important in my business of guerrilla marketing. Has anybody out there heard of guerrilla marketing? No?
Yeah, I've heard.
This guerrilla marketing was a concept that was created by Jay Levinson, and he is 1984, and I bought it. Literally became the book for my business. I learned so much from this book, and it generated so much additional business for me. I thought it important enough to point it to you. Basically, his concept is how to market your business without spending any money. And the way in which you do that is to market it through your existing customer base. I've really been in thousands of window tint shops across the country, and I can't tell you how many shops I've been in where every car that comes into that shop leaves with no furniture in there. And so, a lot of customers, they know that you tint cars, but they don't know that you do residential or commercial windows. So in my business, a car, unless it had a store, meaning that I could do their house or I could do their office, and you would be amazed at how much additional work you can get just by doing that. And what I did was I frosted film using ComputerCut. When you frosted film, put glass, it looks like real etched glass. Well, that became a huge money maker for me. And it's a huge money maker for everybody these days because you can literally get up to $30 a square foot to cut stitch film. So, read a real marketing book created. When I would go out and do a frost film job, I would of it. And in LA, I built up a portfolio of orders, and I would give that portfolio to my installers, and I told them, look, you go out to a job, you sell a frosted film job, I will pay you 10% of whatever you sell. So probably about, I would say 30% of the jobs that they would go out on, they'd sell additional frost film work for front sights or a bathroom door or whatever. And, you know, it range anything from $500 on up to thousands of dollars. So what I've done for ComputerCut dealers is I created a portfolio, a starter portfolio that dealers can use. And you can download this from the ComputerCut website if you go to the support section and down to the glass art portfolio. You can download it, and this is what it'll look like. And you can kind of use this as a starter to get going with it. I guarantee you that if you take with you when you're doing an install, you will take people into doing this type of work, and there's excellent money in it. I just wanted to point out to everyone that using your existing customer base and tools such as this, you can create additional income for yourself. Give you another thing that I learned with guerrilla marketing. And if I were a dealer and I started to use ComputerCut for architectural jobs, I might even think about doing this. But one of the points that Jay's book was the use of a press release. You can press release whatever for your stamps or whatever, and if you're unique, they might pick it up right away, or they might have a slow day, and they might need to fill space in a newspaper or whatever, and they might post it for you. Well, way back late 90s down there, I became a dealer for what was back then it was called Solus. It was called V. It's called V now, and way back then it's one of these high light transmission,
I think so.
high heat reduction. It's like our highlight that we have today, and that cost me $3.50 a square foot. Way back, so I had $12 a square foot back in the 90s for film. But unique, and I live in a high rent area down here in Palm Beach. It would be a great product to sell. I did a press release on it, and lo and behold, wouldn't you know, a month later, I'm looking for the local newspaper. I come across a press release about this new film that's on the market, and it was a release that I had sent to them, and I sold $1,000 worth of business just from that one press release. So just to give a couple examples of what guerrilla marketing can do for you. About anything about computer architectural or guerrilla marketing or any of it?
Yeah. Here.
are you?
Good.
So, but I think it also mentioned that you're a pro with guerrilla marketing. Let's not forget something that you accomplished. You were able to convince us to buy your company. So you missed that one, Gary. I think for everyone to know that Gary was so passionate about the software and hardware system combined that he was relentless about bringing it to Solar Garden, and that's why we're the same company today. So you forgot Gary, but my question on the offline versus online, Wi-Fi versus XL to CSV.
Yes.
If you have a data connection on your computer, or if you're using an iPad or Galaxy, for instance, you directly, right?
Yes. I don't think that you can. That's Mac-based.
Galaxy or a Droid or Windows-based, you can run software direct.
Yeah.
If you have a data line, you don't need access to the customer's Wi-Fi.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Narrative is using the Excel, converting back to CSV.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Touch on a little bit about, say, some of the thicker films like the 4 mil, 7 mil, 8 mil, maybe even up to as much as 14 mil. Can this machine plot those? And if so, is there any difference? And if not, why?
Sure. Interesting, because on our last call, I had a dealer that was telling me about how using this in the window planner cut a safety film, an exterior safety film job, saved him not only an incredible amount of time, but because of that he had to, on the exterior of the building, being able to just, because it was a clear safety film, able to just peel it off and stick it on the glass rather than having to cut it on the glass from the exterior. He said that not only did it save him on installation time, but probably in a lot of lost material because of the wind and the elements that he was encountering. As safety film, you can probably cut ComputerCut and a plotter to consistently cut films up to 7 mil in thickness. So you could use it. You can use a graffiti film or a 4 mil film and so forth. Once you get up the 7 mil, then for one thing, you would not want. Let's say you're doing again. This you do cabs on half cuts. So even if you're cutting 4 mil or 7 mil, you don't want to just put in 30 windows and just click the cut button and let at it, because there's a lot of that come into play when cutting window. The safety film. Number one is the toughness of the material, and number two is the thickness of the adhesive. For cutting 4 mil and up to 7 mil, you can do it on a consistent basis, but I would keep how it's cutting. So if I would that you cut maybe 10 windows at a time, and check them and make sure that they're cutting correctly, and then continue on. But security that's thick that what it is that the film is just so thick that it dulls the blade very quickly, and so if you have the blade too deep the film, you'll cut into the adhesive, and what will happen is that adhesive will build up in the blade holder, and it lifts the blade up. So for that, you can't cut anything, thicker than a 7 mil. But what a lot of dealers do is they will use the computer to score it, and then onto a glass table, and they'll sling it on the table. So in the question, 7 mil, you should have no problems cutting it from 7 mil on up. You'd probably want to use it to score it and then finish cutting it.
Okay.
Okay. Any other?
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
So not for just the regular, but for any decorative jobs. I've ComputerCut before, but I'm kind of looking to switch over to it.
Uh-huh.
What type of file do you upload to the program?
Adobe Illustrator version 3 files.
Do anything higher than a version 3, or?
No, but any version of Adobe, if you were to create anything in Illustrator or CorelDRAW or anything, the option of saving it out as a version.
Right.
So,
right.
And it would have to be a vectored image.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
That's one of the reasons why we, as a ComputerCut dealer, you get the use of we have full-time graphic artist who works for us, Michael Triger. He's a great guy, and he is available to all of our ComputerCut dealers to, help create these images for you to cut using the frosted film. Matter of fact, we created a lot of these images in the portfolio here for our customers. Huh? Any? No? Well, hold on a second here. Out that we started selling packages with the plotter a year ago, and as I mentioned before, we're the only ones that sell the 72-inch Jaguar, and we have some pricing on it. If you are interested, local Solar Guard rep, and he can hook you up with a package and get started cutting architectural film and automotive and paint protection and everything else that ComputerCut offers.
Gary?
Yes.
Hey, this is Steve. One, for all your help with helping me and helping all our customers really get their stuff up and running. You've done a really great job over the years, so you got some support here backing everybody up.
I appreciate it. I'm the guy, if you call the support line on that you'll get I can get through the initial learning curve, because there's a learning curve when you first buy them, but as evidence as the number of systems that are out there now, once you pass that learning curve, it's really a great tool for your business to help you expand your business and create more income for you. Steve. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Anyone does questions after the seminar or the webinar, you can reach my number here. And I think we're going to probably, I think we've recorded this webinar, so if you want to refresh your memory on anything in the future, we're going to post it on the ComputerCut site. So thank you.
Thank you for joining, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.